Hi, it's Steve and Caleb from Brownells, and today we're here with Bobby Tyler of Tyler Gunworks.
Thank you,
Hey,
Steve.
Bobby.
Caleb.
And we
Bobby,
want to talk
pleasure.
about
Always.
practical hunting accuracy for handguns. Big topic, your part of the country.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many guys out there, including myself,
Yeah.
have shot deer, antelope, a lot of other species with a rifle and really want to do it with a handgun.
And that seems to be growing. Actually, there's more and more people doing that from what I've seen.
There is. Can it be done? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got customers all over the United States that hunt with an accurate handgun.
Now, a lot of game has been killed with factory out-of-the-box guns, but it's not as easy as it looks.
It's not.
With a crappy trigger, whatever sights came on it, the slippery
Yeah.
grips they usually provide,
Oh man.
Yep.
and the indifferent accuracy sometimes. I've had super accurate revolvers come from the factory, and I've had stuff I couldn't hit a deer with, at 50 yards.
So my take on that is take all the variables out. Make it to where it's human error if you miss, and go out there with the deck loaded in your favor.
Right.
That sounds more than reasonable. I mean, why wouldn't you go that route?
And a lot of your stuff goes a long way toward eliminating a lot of the human error.
It does.
With a better trigger, better sights.
So yeah, let's talk about what it takes to get there.
Okay, let's do it.
So what I do is when I spec a revolver up for a hunting gun, and I kinda somewhat do on all of them, but when I spec one up, the guy says, hey, I'm going to Africa, I'm going here, I'm going there. There's questions to be asked. A lot of times when they're going to Africa, there's barrel length restrictions. There's details that need to be added to the build sheet before you even get started. But at that point, I start with the sights. That's where I start on a hunting handgun.
Okay.
So I adjust the sights to the shooter, which is adjusted to the barrel length and for the purpose in which they're going to use it. After I do the sights, I go into the action. We do an accuracy package. Obviously, I want a barrel crown. I want the forcing cone cut to 11 degrees. I want to go in and make sure the throats are properly sized. I go into every little detail with our action job. I want a perfect, crisp trigger break. I don't want to, when you're holding that revolver and you pull the trigger and you don't have a perfect trigger pull and you create movement, well, at 10 yards shooting at a tin can, it's not as big a deal as if you're shooting 50 yards at a live animal.
Right.
Our biggest goal is to take the animal as precisely and as quickly as possible.
Yep. Absolutely. That's a great way to look at it as well. And there's a lot of stuff that comes from the factory that you can do that with, but it's literally hit or miss.
Right. And a big part of that action job is just removing any little hiccups that might be in the cylinder rotation or something, because
Yep.
they don't all come out butter smooth, as you get them.
Now, that doesn't mean you've got to go with a custom barrel. So this revolver here has a custom octagon barrel. We do some of these, but not near as many as we do taking a factory revolver that shoots good and making it shoot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the basic Ruger barrel or Smith & Wesson barrel, they tend to shoot very, very well if they're set up properly.
So you can ask yourself, well, what part of it's the trigger? What part of it's the sights? What part's the crown? What's the action? At the end of the day when I'm hunting, I don't care. I want it right.
Right. But having those grips that keep it steady in your hand, keep it from wiggling around, that's a big thing with me.
So one of the questions that I get messaged to me, I get calls, I get asked, and they'll say, well, this is on your website. I'm buying this finished revolver, but what did it shoot like before?
Yeah.
And so that's something that Caleb has. We went ahead and did. So that's your before and afters.
Yep. Before is right here on the bottom. Then you have, of course, your after up here on the top.
Right. Now, for some guys, that bottom group is a fantastic group as it is.
Right.
I mean, it depends on your expectations.
So these are 25 yard offhand, and they're they're shooting the exact same load, the exact same bullet through the exact same barrel. We finished up this one with a 2-pound, 10-ounce trigger that breaks crisp and clear. It should sound like a little glass rod breaking when you hear a trigger go off, any trigger. And just that crisp, clean trigger break, to me, is a huge deal. And so, could you kill a deer with this? Absolutely. But when you're shooting for a certain vital, I mean, you want that deer to drop in its tracks. Your goal is to kill them in the most honorable way possible.
Yeah, humanely. Keep it humane.
Yeah.
Plus, when you can go out to the range and shoot that top group where they're all pretty much touching, you can't put a price on confidence like that when you go out into the field.
There you go.
Makes a big difference in handgun hunting.
Yeah, and I think you said it best when you know, why not stack the deck in your favor?
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
If we have the option to do it, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg either. That's the good part.
Correct, yeah. Basically, when you're going with the factory gun, to break it down, you're adding sight upgrade, you're adding an action and accuracy package. Grips, you can take or leave, whatever you shoot comfortable with. The biggest thing about grips, say you're out hunting, it's a cool wet morning, you get a slippery factory grip, that's where a grip upgrade is worth its weight in gold right that moment.
Right.
Right, because
But-
we've all had enough of rubber grips, haven't we?
I mean,
That's another topic.
they sure they have a place, but you know,
Yeah.
why not go for something better?
So, just wanted to be able to share with a lot of the questions I get asked. They say, "Well, what did it shoot like before?" So, that's why we have that today.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that as well. So, there you have it. Some revolver handgun hunting accuracy in general. If there's a specific upgrade you like or you prefer on your hunting handguns, let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.